So, I guess I got to address the Manchester City stuff because a lot of people seem to be losing their minds over it. And let me just tell you, it's nothing to be too fussed about at the minute. So what's basically happened today is that the original APT charges, associated party transactions, were ruled null, void and unenforceable. So they've already been changed though. So nobody knows yet how the updated APT charges or APT rules are going to be interpreted by the panel. So that case still has to have its outcome. So today is kind of something and nothing. And I know a lot of people are getting worried because, you know, you look to the Manchester City 129 charges, I think it is. This won't have any impact on that. Not to the best of my understanding anyway. And certainly the Premier League are saying that nothing has changed here because the Premier League still have the new rules that they've changed after the last court case, and nothing's been decided about whether they're acceptable, legal or enforceable. So really nothing has changed here. Other than Man City looking to put some positive PR out again to make it look like they've had another big legal win. It's kind of a nothing win, to be honest with you, because all it does is say that the rules that have already been changed were unenforceable and null and voided. So there you go. It's nothing to be that concerned about. It won't really impact, to the best of my understanding, the case with the 129 charges. And let me say this. I have always said I don't know what the outcome of this case is going to be. I've always said that I don't know what any potential punishment is going to be. But let me say one thing very, very, very clearly. There is absolutely no hope in hell that Manchester City walk away from all of those charges without any punishment. I say this having looked into the charges and knowing that some of them are just open and shut, to be honest with you. There is no legalese, there is no weaseling out of them. It's just about trying to lesser this for them. So I've never been concerned that they'll get away with all of them. I don't believe that they will. But I also don't know what the outcome is going to be and how it will be enforced. So let's just keep waiting and seeing. But again, it shows us that Manchester City have decided to just come in and throw a grenade into the Premier League and try and cause as much disruption as possible. And hopefully it all comes back to bite them in the arse. Certainly on the pitch at the minute, it's not looking rosy for them, is it? So yeah, that's pretty much it with regards to that one. So I wouldn't be getting too worked up about it. I wouldn't be getting too overly concerned about it. It is just pretty much an expected ruling that hasn't changed anything. So any questions right now on that, please do feel free to fire them in and I'll do my best to give you as much of an answer as I can on them. Could Man City have done all this to force the Premier League into a deal? No, not really. So the associated party transactions are basically trying to stop inflated sponsorship deals. So just to use Manchester City as an example here, sponsorship deals at the minute have to be what's deemed as fair market value. So they have to be comparable to other deals, which would stop, you know, the likes of a friendly Abu Dhabi company coming in and going, oh, we want to sponsor Manchester City for £500 million for sleeve sponsorship. And that just isn't market value. So that's what this is about. It's Manchester City trying to say that basically blocking friendly companies or brands of the owners from giving you inflated sponsorship deals is illegal. That's what they're arguing about here. So we'll leave it to the legalese, we'll leave it to the professionals, we'll leave it to the journalists to cover this in more detail. Because let's be honest, folks, it's about time the damn journalists start earning their money. You know, a bit of less brown nose and a bit more investigative journalism and we'll all be grand. I've already covered it, Corbin, mate. I covered it at the start of the stream. It's nothing, really, mate. All it was there was a ruling today that basically said that the old associated party transaction rules are null and unenforceable. But it doesn't really change anything because those rules have already been changed and now we're waiting to see what the arbitration committee think of the new changed rules. So today's win is nothing. All it is Man City PR looking like they had another legal win. That's it. You don't need to be concerned by it. Now, if the new rules are deemed to be illegal and unenforceable, then the landscape will change. Then any club can have inflated sponsorship deals and we could be in for a pissing contest. But again, all I can say is this is a problem entirely of the Premier League's own making, and their own stupidity is coming back to bite them in the arse. Abu Dhabi shouldn't have been allowed to buy Manchester City. The Saudi Public Investment Fund, or whoever they're pretending to be to buy Newcastle, should never have been allowed to happen. And now that you've let the wolves into the den, what are they doing? They're acting like fucking wolves. They're acting like people that don't like rules. They're acting like people that are going to throw money at problems. And the Premier League have made this problem themselves. And I've tried to say for so long that this is going to be a situation that's going to happen, because all you have is a pissing contest between rich countries. That's it now. And that's what football could come to if rules aren't deemed to be enforceable. So let's wait and see what happens with that one. But on today's one, don't worry about it. It's something and nothing, really. Did City beat their charges? No, they didn't. Not even close to it. Nor will they. Again, people need to... Like, when City's charges are sorted out, you will know. Like, it won't be this tiny little story like today. It will be everywhere. You'll be bombarded with it. So when that situation is finally resolved, you won't have to be asking me, is it resolved? I promise you'll know about it, because you won't be able to go on the internet without seeing it everywhere. And they are going to be found guilty of some of them, because some of them are just administrative things that is pretty open and shut. It's just a matter of, for me, how many of these charges City can whittle down and what type of a compromise can they perhaps get. And I see all of these other things as just a distraction for Man City to try and, again, get good PR out of it. So, yeah, you don't need to worry about it, my man. When we finally get those, we'll know. And I'll be on here, loud and clear, telling you about them, I promise you.